Oh my god.
We have to get out of this building.
Who's that? We're here to help.
5 hours ago, Red Queen went homicidal.
Who's the Red Queen?
State-of-the-art artificial intelligence.
The corporation's keeping a few secrets down here.
When Resident Evil hit theaters in 2002, it brought to life one of the most iconic video game franchises ever created, transforming its eerie digital horror into a cinematic nightmare filled with action, suspense, and science fiction terror. Directed by Paul W. Anderson, the film marked the beginning of a new era for video game adaptations, one that blended the cold, sterile feel of corporate conspiracy with the blood-soaked chaos of the undead. From its chilling underground setting to its relentless pacing, Resident Evil delivered a unique vision that captivated audiences and established a franchise that would endure for decades. The story unfolds deep beneath the surface of Raccoon City, where a vast secret laboratory known as the Hive serves as the beating heart of the Umbrella Corporation's dark ambitions. Inside, scientists conduct genetic experiments and bioengineering research in the name of progress, but their creations soon spiral beyond control. When the facility's artificial intelligence, the Red Queen, detects a viral outbreak, it seals off the Hive, trapping everyone inside and setting in motion a chain of deadly events that no one can escape. This premise not only evokes the classic survival horror atmosphere of the games, but also establishes a thrilling cinematic journey of containment, paranoia, and desperation. At the center of this chaos is Alice, portrayed by Milla Jovovich, whose character awakens in a mansion above the Hive with no memory of who she is or how she got there. Her amnesia becomes a powerful narrative device, allowing the audience to uncover the truth of the facility alongside her. As she and a team of commandos descend into the Hive, they come face to face with the results of the T-virus, a biological weapon that reanimates the dead and mutates the living into grotesque creatures. The tension builds with each corridor they explore, as the film gradually transitions from mystery to full-blown horror and then into high-octane survival action. Milla Jovovich's performance stands out as both fierce and vulnerable, crafting a heroine who is not just fighting to survive, but also to rediscover herself. Her portrayal of Alice quickly became one of the most recognizable and enduring female leads in modern action cinema. The character evolves from a confused amnesiac into a relentless warrior, setting the tone for the rest of the series. Her physicality and determination brought a sense of realism to the otherwise fantastical premise, anchoring the chaos in human emotion. Alongside her, Michelle Rodriguez delivered a powerful performance as Rain, a tough and loyal soldier whose determination and grit added depth to the ensemble. Their chemistry gave the film an emotional heartbeat amid the waves of terror. Visually, the film was a product of early 2000s style, combining sleek industrial design with moody lighting, reflective steel, and stark white corridors that evoke a sense of cold scientific precision. The Hive feels alive in its own right, sterile yet sinister, with its labyrinthine hallways, security systems, and ominous computer voice echoing through the halls. The production design contributed heavily to the tension, making the environment itself an antagonist. The sterile beauty of the lab contrasts sharply with the decay and chaos unleashed by the T-virus, creating a powerful visual metaphor for corporate hubris and human error. One of the film's most memorable sequences remains the infamous laser hallway scene, in which a group of commandos faces a deadly security system that cuts through them with clinical precision. The scene perfectly captures the film's balance between horror and sci-fi spectacle, cold, calculated, and merciless. It has since become a defining moment in the franchise's legacy, referenced in later films and countless fan tributes. It encapsulates the essence of Resident Evil, a brutal blend of science fiction precision and visceral terror. The score by Marco Beltrami, an electronic musician, Marilyn Manson, gave the film its distinct sonic identity, a mixture of orchestral menace and industrial energy that amplified both the tension and the adrenaline. The pulsing beats, distorted guitars, and haunting melodies enhance the claustrophobic atmosphere, transforming every chase, battle, and revelation into an emotional rush. The music gave Resident Evil a modern, edgy tone that distinguished it from the typical horror soundtracks of its time, aligning it more closely with action and techno-thriller sensibilities. The film's pacing kept audiences on edge from start to finish. It wastes no time plunging viewers into confusion and danger, gradually unveiling fragments of truth through flashbacks and discoveries within the Hive. Each revelation deepens the mystery, the betrayal within the team, the true nature of Umbrella's experiments, and Alice's hidden connection to the corporation. The screenplay cleverly balances exposition with tension, giving just enough information to keep viewers hooked while leaving key mysteries unresolved for future installments. This open-endedness played a major role in setting up the sequels that would expand the story far beyond the confines of the Hive. Resident Evil was not a direct adaptation of any one video game in the series, but rather an original story set within the same universe. This creative decision allowed the filmmakers to explore new characters and scenarios while maintaining the tone and atmosphere that fans of the games love. While some purists criticize the deviation from the original plotlines, many appreciated the film's ability to capture the spirit of survival horror while carving its own cinematic identity. It was a bold move that laid the groundwork for a long-running film saga that would go on to define a generation of genre fans. Despite mixed reviews upon release, the film achieved significant box office success, proving that there was a large audience hungry for this blend of horror and action. Over time, it gained cult status, especially among fans of the games who came to appreciate its style, tone, and world building. Its influence can still be seen in modern action horror cinema, where strong female leads, bioengineered monsters, and dystopian science themes have become staples. The success of Resident Evil helped open the door for future video game adaptations and elevated Paul W.S. Anderson's reputation as a director capable of merging genre storytelling with mainstream appeal. Behind the scenes, the film's production was a challenge of atmosphere and logistics. The sets were meticulously designed to evoke both fear and fascination, while the makeup and practical effects brought the undead to life in gruesome detail. The film used a combination of practical makeup and digital effects to create the Licker, one of the franchise's most terrifying creatures, blending realistic textures with monstrous imagination. These effects gave the movie a tactile horror quality that still holds up, even in an era of advanced CGI. The use of practical effects kept the world tangible and grounded, adding to the immersion of its nightmarish tone. What made Resident Evil unique was its ability to balance tones. It wasn't purely horror, nor just science fiction, but a fusion of both wrapped in an action-driven framework. The film explored the dangers of unchecked corporate power, human experimentation, and the ethics of science gone wrong. These underlying themes gave depth to the chaos, transforming what could have been a simple monster movie into a reflection on control, morality, and survival. Beneath the blood and bullets, there was a warning about humanity's obsession with power and perfection, a theme that remains relevant today. Milla Jovovich's portrayal of Alice became a cultural touchstone for female-led action cinema. She wasn't portrayed as a side character or victim, but as a central force of strength and intelligence. Her evolution throughout the series, from survivor to rebel to symbol of resistance, began here, in this first film. The physical training, stunt work, and emotional depth Jovovich brought to the role made her synonymous with the franchise itself. Resident Evil established her not only as a leading action star, but also as a defining figure in modern genre filmmaking. Over the years, the 2002 film has come to be appreciated not just as the start of a blockbuster series, but as a standalone achievement in blending horror and action cinema. Its claustrophobic setting, relentless pacing, and unapologetically stylized approach make it a distinctive piece of early 2000s filmmaking. It captured the energy of its time, a mixture of industrial aesthetics, techno-infused sound design, and sharp visual contrasts that made it feel both futuristic and grimy. The Hive, the Red Queen, and Alice's Awakening have since become symbols within pop culture, often referenced in discussions about how video games transitioned into film with both creativity and risk. Resident Evil 2002 may not have followed the exact path of its gaming origins, but it forged its own identity, one that embraced chaos, tension, and the spirit of survival against overwhelming odds. Its legacy lies not only in the sequels it spawned, but also in how it changed the perception of video game movies. It proved that with the right atmosphere, strong performances, and a commitment to visual storytelling, a game-inspired film could stand on its own as thrilling entertainment. More than 2 decades later, the film remains a testament to how one small, isolated horror story in an underground lab could grow into a global phenomenon that redefined cinematic horror for a new generation.